Tonight, two men going to prison for what prosecutors call one of the biggest Ponzi schemes ever discovered in Western New York.
The remainder of the money was used to finance lavish lifestyles of the defendants and others.
Today, Christopher Parris receiving 20 years behind bars. Good evening. I'm Matt Malloy. Prosecutors say Parris and his partner were behind a Ponzi scheme where victims lost more than $100 million. As 13 Wham's Cheyenne Walker reports, Parris is also accused of using the pandemic to scam people out of money. Cheyenne, good evening.
Good evening, Matt. Prosecutors say Parris fraudulently promised to provide more than $100 million N95 masks that he did not have to various medical supply companies. That's in addition to the multi-million-dollar Ponzi scheme.
It's the largest Ponzi scheme ever prosecuted in Western New York. Christopher Parris and Parris and Santillo were convicted of defrauding close to 1,000 investors out of more than $115 million.
The defrauding of citizens and companies will not be tolerated in our society. Individuals who participate in this type of activity will be investigated, and when proven that they have committed this type of fraud, they will be prosecuted, as we have shown today.
Authorities say the Ponzi scheme started in 2008 and ran through 2017. It began where Parris and Santillo formed a development business in Rochester. The prosecutors say the two then pitched investment opportunities to victims, using funds from new investors to pay off old ones.
The remainder of the money was used to finance lavish lifestyles of the defendants and others, to expand the scheme by purchasing additional investment advisor brokerage businesses so they could obtain new investors, and to pay operating expenses and salaries of the businesses that they had purchased.
Both men were eventually convicted in the Ponzi scheme after it collapsed. Parris was also convicted of fraud during the pandemic, promising masks he couldn't deliver.
As part of the COVID fraud scheme, the defendant actually obtained upfront payments from approximately 8 other entities in the amount of $7.4 million for fraudulently promising to provide N95 masks.
And Parris received 20 years in federal prison and must pay restitution to the victims. Santillo received 17 and a half years and must also pay restitution.
Let's face it, construction anywhere can give just about anyone a headache. And though it's meant to improve conditions, some are saying construction in downtown Rochester comes with a cost. Road construction isn't just hard on your vehicle, it can also be hard on nearby businesses.
It has not helped us at all. There's no place for people to park.
Chris Staffieri manages Pizza Stop on State Street in downtown Rochester, an area that has seen road construction for the past several months.
When you combine all the factors going on around here, I would say businesses have been trying to move out of downtown since before COVID, and then once COVID hit, things got worse. And then now on top of that, you have the construction, so we've kind of been hit over and over again around here.
Since crews began road work, he says business has gone from bad to worse. Robert Henderson has lived on State Street for 6 years now. He says this has become his new alarm clock.
This is the worst because early in the morning we had to put up with the noise. They done dug up the same hole 5 different times. They put a lot of debris and dust on my vehicle. I had to always wash it. I mean, it's a headache down here.
Dan drives for Uber. He says he recently had to replace a tire after driving over a razor in the construction zone.
It hasn't been this bad lately, but as of now, it's been pretty rough.
As for the governor's recent announcement about millions of dollars coming to downtown Rochester, Staffieri just hopes Pizza Stop is around to see it.
It's definitely something to hope for, something positive on the horizon. It's just a matter of getting to that point. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard. It's going to be a struggle.
The state has earmarked $10 million to specifically revitalize downtown Rochester. $4 million of those dollars will be spent transforming the corner of Main Street and Clinton Avenue.